Very warm good morning to all. It's me, Abhinandan Bhardwaj, and I welcome you on the study channel Lights Institute of Studies. In this video, we would be covering India-Bangladesh Water Treaty.
Bangladesh is going crazy for Ganga Jal. But why? And the reason for this panic is the year 2026. Because in 2026, the Ganga River Water Treaty will expire. This means the treaty that has been giving Bangladesh access to Ganga water for the last 30 years will end this year. Let's understand this treaty in detail. Its history, its provisions, how water is currently distributed, and what happens next. The story of the Ganga Water Treaty doesn't begin in 1996. It goes back decades to 1975 when India built the Farakka Barrage. The Farakka Barrage is located in West Bengal, just 18 kilometers from the Bangladesh border. Its purpose was to divert Ganga water into the Hooghly River to flush out silt and keep the Kolkata port navigable. But there was a problem. Bangladesh, as a lower riparian state, suddenly saw a massive reduction in the flow of Ganga water entering its territory. Hence, Bangladesh protested, and diplomatic negotiations began for a solution. From 1977 onwards, India and Bangladesh signed a series of short-term agreements, 5 years here, 3 years there, but none provided a permanent solution. Finally, after decades of mistrust and temporary fixes, a breakthrough came in 1996. On December 12, 1996, in New Delhi, Indian Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda and Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina signed a historic treaty. Formally titled the Treaty between the Government of the Republic of India and the Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh on sharing of the Ganga-Ganges waters at Farakka, this agreement marked the first comprehensive long-term settlement of the Ganga water dispute. The treaty was signed for a duration of 30 years, from 1996 to 2026, with a clause allowing renewal or renegotiation by mutual consent. Now let's understand how water is actually shared between India and Bangladesh. The treaty covers the dry season, from January 1st to May 31st each year, because this is when water scarcity is most acute. The sharing is done in 10-day time blocks, and the formula is based on the availability of water at the Farakka Barrage. The Farakka Barrage is a critical point on the Ganga River, located in Murshidabad district of West Bengal, just 18 kilometers upstream from the Bangladesh border. At this point, the Ganga splits into two major streams: the Hooghly River, which flows through India, passing through Kolkata before emptying into the Bay of Bengal; the Padma River, which flows into Bangladesh and later joins the Brahmaputra to form the Meghna River system. The barrage was constructed to regulate the split. It diverts water from the main Ganga channel into a feeder canal that flows into the Hooghly River. Why? Because the Hooghly River was becoming increasingly silted, making navigation difficult and threatening the viability of the Kolkata port, one of India's major ports. By diverting Ganga water into the Hooghly, India aimed to flush out the silt and keep the port operational. However, this diversion reduced the water flowing into the Padma River in Bangladesh, affecting agriculture, fisheries, navigation, and increasing salinity in coastal areas. This is why the Farakka Barrage became the focal point of the water sharing dispute, and why the treaty specifically regulates water flow at this location. Now let's look at how water is distributed according to Ganga Treaty. Scenario 1. If water availability at Farakka is 70,000 cusecs or less, both countries share the water equally, 50-50. So if there's 60,000 cusecs available, India gets 30,000 cusecs and Bangladesh gets 30,000 cusecs. Scenario 2. If water availability is between 70,000 and 75,000 cusecs, Bangladesh is guaranteed 35,000 cusecs and India gets the rest. For example, if there's 72,000 cusecs, Bangladesh gets 35,000 cusecs and India gets 37,000 cusecs. Scenario 3. If water availability is 75,000 cusecs or more, India can withdraw up to 40,000 cusecs and Bangladesh gets the remaining flow. So if there's 80,000 cusecs, India takes 40,000 cusecs and Bangladesh gets 40,000 cusecs. April is the most critical month because water flow is at its lowest during this period. To address this, the treaty includes a special guarantee clause. Between March 11th and May 10th, each country is guaranteed 35,000 cusecs in alternate 10-day periods, even if the actual flow is lower. This ensures that during the most water-scarce period, both countries receive a baseline minimum to sustain agriculture and livelihoods. The treaty also includes a provision for emergencies. If the flow at Farakka falls below 50,000 cusecs in any 10-day period, the two governments are required to consult immediately and make emergency adjustments. This clause recognizes that rigid formulas may not work in extreme drought conditions, and flexibility is needed. The treaty is built on 40 years of historical flow data, both before and after the construction of the Farakka barrage. This data was used to determine indicative flows and ensure that the treaty protects historical water availability for both countries. The 1996 Ganga Water Treaty was highly significant because, after decades of short-term agreements and mistrust, this was the first comprehensive, long-term solution to the Ganga water dispute. Also, the treaty acknowledged Bangladesh's rights as a lower riparian state, meaning a country downstream has legitimate claims to river water even if the river originates upstream. This shows India's commitment to a rule of law based approach. This treaty also shows how strong and close the relations were between India and Bangladesh. But now things are different. Bangladesh is emerging as a threat to India, repeatedly warning to disrupt India's northeast. Bangladesh's current head, Yunus, calls the northeastern states of India landlocked countries. Also, there are flaws in the current treaty. The treaty only covers water sharing at Farakka. It does not address the broader issue of basin-wide management, including Nepal's role in the Ganga basin. Now here's the big question. What happens when the treaty expires in 2026? The treaty includes a renewal clause, which means India and Bangladesh can mutually agree to extend it or renegotiate the terms. However, recent instances like India suspending the Indus Water Treaty with Pakistan following cross-border terrorism show a shift in India's approach. India's principle is clear: blood and water cannot flow together. If Bangladesh continues to align with Pakistan or engage in anti-India activities, India may use the Ganga Water Treaty as leverage too. So with this, we came to the end of our video. We hope you liked it.